What's up guys, Noah here. Welcome back to Cooking Time with Noah. Today we are going to be making some lemon chicken that's very simple, very easy, and very delicious. Let's get started. First you're going to want some chicken breasts. Here I have 2 with a garbage bag right next to me so I can place any extra fat that I can trim off right back into the bag. And now this is how we're going to cut our chicken. You're going to want to place your hand as so, and then cut into the chicken breast horizontally like I'm showing you right here. And the reason why we're doing this is so we don't have to pound the chicken to tenderize it, because the pieces are so thin that it stays tender while cooking and doesn't become all rubbery and plasticky like a lot of other chickens do. Here I'm just showing a different angle. This is a pretty thick chicken breast, so I cut mine into thirds, but you can easily just do halves if yours isn't as thick. And I'm going to do the same to the other breast. Don't forget to wash your hands when dealing with raw meat. In a medium bowl, you will need some flour, granulated garlic, granulated onion, Italian seasoning, salt, and pepper. Now, I don't have any measurements for this recipe, so it's all by ear, so I just placed around like 2 scoops of flour. You just need enough flour to cover as much chicken as you are cooking. Next, we're going to do some granulated garlic, and I add some to the bowl, just enough to cover the flour as seen here. Next, we are going to be doing some granulated onion, and I'm going to just use a little bit less than I did of the garlic. Next is Italian seasoning, and I just add this for color and it adds a lot of flavor. And then also just some salt and some freshly ground black pepper. Mix that all together so all the seasonings combine with the flour. And talking about cooking, I have here a 14-inch skillet. You just want a large enough pan so you don't overcrowd your pan with chicken. You also want some olive oil, some minced garlic, you can use fresh garlic, lemon juice, and a pair of tongs. Onto medium heat, you will then place some olive oil into your frying pan, just enough to coat the bottom. Next I add a scoop of minced garlic. Like I said, you can use some fresh garlic if you want. I just have the jar stuff. You want to cook that for around like 30 seconds or until fragrant. Then here's my cooking station. I have my chicken breast here that I'm going to place into the flour mixture. I'm going to coat both sides, making sure the piece of chicken is completely covered in flour. Then I'm going to pick it up and I'm going to place it into the pan. I then will repeat this process with all my chicken, and I want to cook the chicken for around 1 minute to 2 minutes. Just to give it a quick sear on that first side. Then we're going to give it a flip, and we're going to just cook it for the exact same time, around 1 to 2 minutes. And right now we are just searing the chicken, and because of the way we cut it, we wouldn't be able to do this otherwise, because then the chicken breast would be too thick, and by the time the chicken breast would be cooked, then the outside would be all rubbery. So luckily we made them super thin so we can do this step. And this is how your chicken would look like. Not all of it has to be cooked right at this stage. We're going to flip it one more time in just a second, but this is how mine looks right now. And like I just said, we're going to flip it back to its original side. I actually rearranged my chicken so it would fit better in the pan. Next, I'm going to add lemon juice to each chicken breast. If you want to use a fresh lemon and squeeze it, by all means go for it. Also, we're going to be adding some hot water to it, and you just want to add enough water to cover the chicken a little bit, just to give it some juice. And this next step is completely optional, but I added a chicken bouillon. This just gives it a lot of flavor, but if you don't have it or you don't want to add it, then that's perfectly fine, and it will dissolve on its own in the juice, but I like to help it out by breaking it up and spreading it around the pan. Next, we're going to bring it to a boil, and then we're going to be adding a lid to it and reduce the heat down to low. After a few minutes, you're going to check the chicken, lift off the lid, and every single time you want to check the chicken, I just like to move the chicken around, make sure nothing's sticking to the bottom. But that's actually basically it, guys. It's going to be sitting on low heat for the next like 30 to 45 minutes until the chicken is super tender, and just check it every few minutes or so. I think I checked it a total of 6 times, spacing around every 5 minutes or so. The reason why we add flour to the chicken is so when we add water to it, the flour makes it a thicker sauce. So you get this nice glazy sauce that's super delicious. But if you want it thicker, add more flour. And if you want it thinner, just add more water. Now let's talk sides. I like a nice plain white rice with some peas. You can do any sort of thing you want. Some pasta's great with it. I had some leftover white rice from dinner we had a few nights ago. So I'm just gonna put this in a bowl, mix it up with some water, put some saran wrap, and pop it in the microwave for around like 4 minutes. Play with Oakley in the meantime. Check out that fork. Very crucial step, don't skip it. We're gonna check the rice from the microwave. Just gonna peel off the top, fluff it up, make sure everything's reheated and hot. White rice is great with this meal. It's just a nice plain starch that goes well with the chicken. For a vegetable, I like peas or corn. Both are great. I didn't have any fresh peas, so I had to use a can of peas, but that's fine. Just in the microwave for around 3 to 4 minutes. And let's start plating this up. First, I'm gonna start with my white rice. I like a lot of rice, so I'm going to put about like 2 scoops on. And then for my vegetable again, we're going to be adding our sweet peas to it. If you're not a fan of peas, that's fine. Any vegetable will do. Like I said, I prefer peas and corn with this dish. Then we're going to add our chicken breast on top of it. And don't forget to add all of that delicious sauce that we made. It's amazing. And that is it. It's super simple, super easy. I make this probably twice a week from how simple it is. And my family really likes it. It's super tender, super flavorful. Now let's just cut into this. You don't really even need a knife from how tender it is from soaking up in the lemon juice. So let's get a little bit on our fork, and yeah, it's delicious. 10 out of 10. It's super good. I hope you guys try this at home. And if you want to see more Cook Time with Noah in the future about different meals, then let me know in the comments down below, because I enjoy cooking. And yeah, so I will take this plate off, binging with Babish style, and make it join the Queen Plate Cup. Thank you for watching.